And finally, happy birthday to my mum, Rose Brannigan, says Lisa. And commiserations to the good people in Emerson's Green in Bristol who've been waiting a long time to have their new library. Cost an awful lot of money. It's 3 months late and it's £175,000 over budget. And they did the opening ceremony, but it'll be a while before they're actually able to use it because they forgot to order any books. Morning, Gerry.
Morning, John. I can't talk. There are people in the studio.
Get them out.
Get out, will you?
Tell them I said they have to get out.
There's 2 people in looking at me.
What do they do?
I can't talk and people's looking at me.
Do you owe them money or something?
Get out. Come on, out.
Are they looking at you
They're
quizzically?
looking at me, yeah. It's like, like being in the zoo.
Oh, yeah, threateningly.
I can't talk when people are standing. Look, get out. Will you leave here. Look, I'll do that.
There's certain things you can't do when people are watching, aren't
Sorry,
there?
how'd you get on with Roger Lloyd Pack today?
He's ill. He didn't make it.
That's what they...
No, he's not. He wasn't in the play.
He wasn't in the play?
No, he's ill.
I'm sorry to hear that. Is he in Belfast?
Well, he may be now, but I don't think so. I haven't heard this morning.
When was it
whether he made
supposed to start, Art?
It started on Monday night.
And did he not start it Monday
The
night?
stand-in had to appear on Monday night.
You never told me that yesterday.
I didn't know that yesterday.
You should have known that. You said you were superior, yes. You said Roger Lloyd Pack and Nigel Havers are coming in tomorrow. But you didn't mention the fact that Roger Lloyd Pack didn't show up for the Monday night show.
I didn't know that he wasn't going to show up.
Nobody told you.
Nobody told me.
Yesterday was Tuesday. You should have known.
Nobody knew.
You haven't got your finger on the pulse.
What pulse?
The pulse that you used to have before you died.
I knew there was something wrong with me.
Was Nigel Havers there today?
Nigel was in, yes.
Remember the thing he did, the celebrity show? Did you mention that?
Lee Lawson. No, I didn't mention this. What celebrity show?
He did a thing where he went round people and saying what a wonderful house you have and all.
That's Louis Theroux.
No, it wasn't Louis Theroux. It was Nigel Havers. It was awful. It was one of the worst programmes ever. Is he still there?
You're thinking of David Frost through the keyhole. Lloyd Grossman.
Lloyd Grossman. No, this is another. He did a celebrity thing, a kind of an OK thing. Was it not called OK?
No.
He went round to people. No, what people will know what that is. People will ring you and tell you what it is.
No, they won't, because you've got the phone line now.
That's right. What did Nigel Havers present? It was a programme last year. It was horrendous. Horrendous. He was licking people's... it was horrendous.
Are you on those funny things again?
No.
No. You stopped that?
Stopped them.
All right.
I'm on the other one. Yeah.
Oh, you back on that, are you?
Yeah.
On the Niagara?
Yeah.
Oh.
It keeps me falling out of bed.
Niagara Falls?
Yes. Okay, then. Let's stop over
Have those
ahead.
people gone away?
They're all gone, yeah.
Bye.
Wait, maybe you should keep them. You could interview them.
No, I don't want them. Send them to Hugo.
They're not sick. I hope Roger Lloyd Pack. I hope Trigger comes round.
Maybe he made it. Maybe his voice reappeared.
That did. Well, who stood in for him?
The stand-in.
I know that, but
I don't know the stand-in's name.
You don't know the stand-in?
No.
Better be somebody from Belfast.
No, they bring the stand-in with them.
Do they?
Yes.
Well, why have we not got one?
That's a very good point.
Have you got a stand-in down there?
Well, yes.
What? Have you really?
John Daly stands in for me.
No, but I mean, if you just dropped dead now.
Maggie would leap in.
Would she?
Yeah. She's waiting outside.
I don't have anybody like that.
Sean Coyle would leap in.
No, I don't want him to leap in.
No, he's too good, you see. You don't like him, do you?
No, he plays all the music that the people like.
I hate that.
I hate
people who play music that people like.
Hugo's at it too.
I know that.
Me and you should start doing it.
I mean, somebody has to play the rubbish.
I know, but Hugo can't do it all.
No. Play some rubbish.
No, I'll tell you what I will do.
What?
I'll play you some rubbish.
That's a very good idea.
Okay, here's some now. No, this is good. You like this. I always like this. It's called Garden Party by Rick Nelson. He's dead too.
Yes,
same as you.
Great story behind. You know the story, don't
I know
you?
the story.
Yes, well, I'll not tell you.
No, let's not tell you. The man started
Shut
singing.
up, man singing. Bye-bye.
Old friend, a chance to share old memories, play songs again. When I got to the garden party, they all knew my name. No one recognized me. I didn't look the same, but it's all right now. I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. People came from miles around, everyone was there. Yoko brought her walrus, there was magic in the air. And over in the corner, much to my surprise, Mr. Hughes hid in Dylan's shoes, wearing his disguise. But it's all right now, I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La da da, la da da da. Play them all the old songs. I thought that's why they came. But no one heard the music. We didn't look the same. I said hello to Mary Lou. She belongs to me. When we sang a song about a honky-tonk, it was time to leave. But it's alright now. Learned my lesson well. See, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La da da, la da da da. Someone opened up the closet door, and out stepped Johnny Be Good, playing guitar like a ringing a bell, and looking like you should. Now if you gotta play garden parties, I wish you a lot of luck. But if memories were all I sang, I'd rather drive a truck. And it's alright now. I've learned my lesson well. See, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La da da, la da da da, la da da da. And it's alright now, yeah. I learned my lesson well. See, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself.
That's Ricky Nelson, almost forgotten about now. He died in a plane crash some time ago, a number of years ago. That's a song called Garden Party. Thank you to John Bennett. Thank you to Susan McReynolds up here on BBC Radio 4. And John Bennett is actually right. There is a great story behind that.
Why wouldn't you let John Bennett tell it?
Because his time was over. His time was over. But I know the story. Do you know the story?
Well, I don't know whether it's the same story that John Bennett was going to tell.
Of course it's the same story.
About not wanting to sing all his old songs. He wanted to do new songs, and they didn't want to listen to his new stuff. Is that what
essentially, that's
Something
essentially
like that,
it.
isn't
But
it?
there's
Yeah.
more to it than that. He played at a benefit concert in Madison Square Gardens, hence the title, Garden Party.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people appeared there. For instance, Eric Clapton appeared, Chuck Berry appeared,
Yeah.
Bob Dylan,
Mm-hmm.
people like that, and everybody cheered there. And then when he came on, because he was seen to be kind of old-fashioned, and he didn't sing his old songs, they booed him.
Yeah.
As an actual fact, after Ricky Nelson had early success as a kind of a teen idol, he became a very much respected country singer. And he sang all his country songs, and they booed him. And he got little
What
sympathy
country
from...
songs did he sing?
I don't know, Sean, because I'm not a country fan. But
I don't know Ricky Nelson doing country.
Oh, he did? No, but after his initial hits, which were like Hello, Mary Lou...
Yeah, but what?
I don't know. Don't pin me down here. He did a lot of stuff. He became
I've
very
never
well...
heard of him doing country.
I know, but that's because you live in Derry.
Right.
You see, a lot of people outside heard of stuff that you'd never heard here.
Ricky goes country.
Yeah, but see, you were too busy listening to Herman's Hermits at the time. But apparently he had a very successful country career after he stopped being a teen idol. Do you remember when I was a teen idol?
Well, you don't know anything about it.
No, I don't know.
anything about
I'm not
it.
a country fan.
You've got your finger on the pulse. You're on the
No,
big show.
John Bennett has a finger on the pulse. No, I remember reading that Ricky Nelson had a very successful country career and very successful albums, but I never bought any because I
Right.
wasn't particularly interested.
Okay.
But he was booed. That's the story. And the story was that he went along and he wrote that song as a protest. And he was a very good country singer. As a matter of fact, when he died, apparently, he was doing freebase cocaine in an airplane.
But you see, it's fell on deaf ears, his protest song.
Yeah, but you
Because
see,
the-
that's what happens to protesters. That's why I don't
people liked
complain.
it, and people normally people don't listen to the lyric. You say they just say, "Oh, that's a nice wee tune there. That's nice." Da 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 da.
I think we've gone as far. I think we've gone as far on this as I care to.
Well, Thomas is on one.
Is he? Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Gerry. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Thomas. How are you?
And a beautiful morning it is too. You couldn't have bad on a day like that now.
It's very, very nice indeed. I'm glad to be alive.
I'm down around the Mourns here, and I'm just sitting looking at Aca View. You'd travel hundreds of miles to have a look at.
What do you see when you're sitting there now?
It's beautiful. I'm actually up quite high. I'm just beside Leitrim there, and I'm looking over. I think it's Dundrum Bay out towards St John's Point there, where the lighthouse is. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it'd be lovely down there. Yeah.
Wonder, could you help us with the wee problem, Gerry? I'm lucky enough to be thinking about taking my children away to Disneyland over in California this year.
Oh, great! Oh, I've been there. It's great. I saw Cinderella there cursing at the kids.
That's exactly
You lost a good camera there. Sorry, Thomas. Gerry lost a good... Sorry, Thomas, for interrupting, but Gerry lost a good camera there. Maybe you could look out for it.
Yeah, see, while you're there, if you see a camera sitting on a bench...
It was on a wall.
Well, was it 1992?
We sat on a wall.
Yeah, was it on a wall?
What type of camera is it?
If you see it's a Canon. If you see a camera,
right.
If you see a Canon sitting on a wall, bring it back.
I can see me dragging a Canon camera off somebody,
The best,
Gerry, give me that,
The best thing I ever seen in Disneyland was, remember Snow White?
But you remember how quickly your camera walked?
No, my camera went quickly.
Just put it down. We were sitting on a wall, and you put it down beside you on a wall, and you turned to talk to me. Turned back. Gone camera.
Which I learned a lesson there. Never talk to you again.
No.
Do you know what happened? Do you know one of the best things I saw in Disneyland was Snow White. Snow White. You know the characters from the Disney movies.
Yes,
You know they walk around and they talk to all the kids. But you see, American children aren't like our children.
Normal children, yeah.
No, American children are professional children. They're very demanding. And this girl was a pretty hot day. I don't know if you saw this, Mr. Coyle. I don't know if you recall this.
No, I don't.
And I happened to be standing beside Snow White, and there's a little fella pulling at her skirt, you see. And Snow White had a long day. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. And she leaned over. And she said, "Hey, Sonny, stop that." And hey, Snow White, Snow White, Snow White, all this stuff. He said, "Just a moment, Sonny, just a moment." She was saying this, and Snow White, "Come on, Snow White, Snow White, Snow White, Snow White." And she turned over and she whispered something in his ear, and I heard what she said. And do you know what she said?
What? Go ahead.
She said, "If you don't stop that, I'm going to put my boot." And then she said something else. And I said to myself, now, I've never heard Snow White say that.
That's a different ending this time.
Oh, you're so horrible.
The last time you told that, it was a different ending. I wouldn't interrupt you. I wouldn't stop you because I wanted to hear the ending.
You're no fun.
That's what I like about your stories now. It's the different endings.
I like to vary them in case people have heard them before.
That's not the story you told before about Snow White.
I can't tell a story. I can't tell that story.
No, that's not the ending.
Yes, it's different. That's another ending, but I can't tell that ending.
Yeah, but what's the other ending?
I can't tell it.
What's the first ending?
I can't tell it.
Do you remember, Charlie? Yeah, I do.
What is it?
Oh, incidentally, before we go any further, I'd like to apologise to the staff of Radio Foil for calling them all boilers yesterday. I received a very stiff response upstairs. Many of the women won't speak to me.
And are you sorry?
I apologise from the bottom of my heart for calling the women in Radio Foil boilers.
You're going to get served cold tea today.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to leave him behind there and let us continue our conversation. You're going to Disneyland in California. Yes.
You just put something in my head there. Maybe she was swearing at the kids from because she was knocking about with Grumpy too long.
Well, you see, Grumpy wasn't there. Do you know another thing too? I went in the back. Do you know, there's a place. Do you know that when Disney people they call themselves what is it again? I can't remember what it is.
Entertainers or something?
No. They call themselves something like. Oh, I don't know what it is. But there's right behind Disneyland, in the middle of Disneyland, there's a kind of a compound which you can't see. That's where all the people go in and relax when they're not on show.
On display, yeah.
So I went in there, and do you know what I saw? I saw Mickey Mouse, and he was sitting there, and he had his head off.
But remember, all the kids in America were suing the Disney Corporation the parents were on behalf of their children because they'd spotted Mickey with his head off.
How about I saw Mickey with his head? Remember, did you see Mickey with his head off? Remember, you smoking fags.
That's the story. That's the Snow White story.
That's not the Snow White story. That's not the Snow White story.
See, you look around the back of this building, and Snow White was standing there with her legs crossed and her arms folded, and she was smoking a fag.
That was Mickey Mouse. That was Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse was sitting there with his head off, and he was sitting there, his big foot up on the table. No, the big mouse foot.
Yeah.
It's a big mouse foot up on the table. He's puffing away at a packet of fags. And I took the camera out. Do you remember? Before it was stolen. And the guy came over and pointed a gun at me. Said, "Don't." And you're not allowed to take photographs behind. What is it? Behind? What do they call it? Off stage. Off stage. That's what they call it. Off stage is when they're off stage. And I can't tell you what Cinderella was doing. Anyway, we're
Right.
Yes, okay.
For digressing.
Yes, we are indeed.
I tell you what it is. I'm not used with the internet, but I'm sort of I'm learning my way around it. Got onto the internet there yesterday to try to touch base with Disneyland in Florida.
Yes.
And all the sites and all the links, you can get right to the Disneyland, and then it'll either tell you that there's an internal server problem, or they will refer you back to Disney UK.
Is that just today?
No, this was yesterday. Spent quite a bit of time there. Yes. Trying to get through to them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out about accommodation and whether I can get tickets and so on, but I want to leave it very flexible, and I don't necessarily want to buy them through Disney UK and get tied down at this stage before we go.
Yeah.
So I want to touch base with them and find all the gen about them, and then possibly buy the tickets out there, or get accommodation out there.
Yeah.
But I keep getting referred back to Disney UK, and I don't want to speak to Disney UK.
No, because they'll tell you. They'll just tell you what they want to tell you.
What they want you to know from this side. Yes.
Well, I can't see any reason why you can't get into the Disney site in America.
Yeah.
I can't see no reason.
Is there anyone out there maybe more computer literate than I am?
Well, you've obviously,
you could suggest a different route or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously been in the search engine, have you?
Yes. Got into it was Google, then I got into the Disney, if you punch in Disney.co.
Yeah.
Disney.com or something. Yeah.
.com, yeah.
And then followed the links to Disneyland.
Yeah.
You get to their site, and for a split second, it's welcome to Disney, and then you get thrown out. And then it's internal server, and then when you try to go back in, it refers you back to the Disney UK.
May have just been a temporary problem yesterday. Have you tried again today?
I haven't tried this morning. No.
Maybe it may be nothing. It may not be anything sinister. Maybe just an internal problem that you know. But maybe something's crashed. But anyway, let's follow your logic.
Anyone out there? Yep.
Okay. If anyone out there knows how a man is going to get directly into. What?
Can you keep Thomas in chat there? Well, there's a man going to give him all the information he requires.
Excellent.
Okay, so hang on a minute. We'll chat for another while. There's a man.
And I'll keep my eye open for your Canon camera.
Camera, yeah. Keep your eye open for it, because I was very distressed by that. And you know, in the inside, and off stage, it's the most interesting area, but you can't get in there. It's like Fort Knox. There's guys with guns and everything. And you're looking behind Disneyland. There's these cops with guns. And they're trying to stop people taking photographs of Mickey Mouse smoking. And you say to yourself, this Disneyland isn't what I thought it was. It's like anything else. There's security. It's big business. But you're lulled into a false sense of, you think it's all nice. But then when you get round the back, of course, BBC's the same. Once you get round the back, it's a different story. Noel Thompson isn't as nice as he seems to be. Yeah, and Jackie Fulton turns out to be a monster. I'm a monster. Who's this now?
This is Simon on 3.
What does he want?
Simon's got the information that Thomas needs.
Right, Simon. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Jerry.
Simon, you're through to Thomas. Can you help him?
Hello, Thomas. How are you? Hiya, Simon. Good morning to you. Not too bad. I'll tell you what it is, Thomas. There's a website out there called Travel Mac. Travel.
How do you spell that?
TRAVEL. Yes. AX.
Oh,
ax.co.uk.
.co.uk. Yep.
Travel Axe?
Travel Max.
M? Is there an M there?
M for Mike.
Oh, did you get that M there? TRAVELMAX.
That's it.
MAX. Got it, yes.
Yes.
If you go on to it, you can search for Disney passes. You can also go on and search for Disney accommodation, everything.
That's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
There's a menu bars down the left-hand side and across the top, and you'll find
all I want to know there.
Everything on it.
Is that just Disneyland, or is it all Travel Max? Is that all kinds of stuff, information in America?
Yep, and you can buy your passes online if you want as well.
That's brilliant. That's just what I'm looking for, because
So
I couldn't add no joy with the Disneyland one,
Yeah, no, you can go on and buy your passes on that online, everything you want to do with that.
And has anyone out there got any tips about travelling to Disney, the do's and don'ts, and how to get round the queues and that type of thing?
I know.
You can buy advance passes. You can book your time.
Yes, I heard this. Yes, a friend was telling me about that one now, yeah.
But when are you going?
Hopefully be there for the 4th of July.
Oh my God, you couldn't have picked a worse day. You couldn't have picked a worse day to go to Disneyland. If you had tried as hard as you couldn't have picked a worse day. Well, you need to. Well, 4th of July, for God's sake, man.
Yeah, I know, but that's why we're going. Like, you're gonna, if you want to see Disney, you might as well see it in the middle of their, and their peak performance.
Yeah, I remember being in Florida on the 4th of July. Well, actually, to be honest with you, now that I think of it, see, a lot of people on the 4th of July, they kind of. It mightn't be as quiet as you think, because a lot of people spend time out having picnics and stuff.
And all, yeah.
Yeah, they do, and maybe
it's a family day.
Maybe you could be lucky. Maybe July the 4th wouldn't be such a busy day as you would imagine it would be.
And Disney itself, you be in full swing, all the patriotic stuff going. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, and there'll probably be a war going, to make things better. And another thing too, do you know the way St. Patrick's Day here, nothing happens?
Yes.
It might be like that. Like, if you want to go to New York for St. Patrick's Day, if you want to go to Disneyland, you'd imagine that, July the 4th would be all July the 4th. There's probably bugger all happening. It's probably like here. Well, what are we doing in Belfast? We're having Six are playing, aren't they, outside the City Hall for St. Patrick's Day?
Something like that.
How wonderful is that? Okay.
Patrick's got a good, it's a Paint the Town Red Day or something like that.
Paint the Town Red Day?
Yeah, big posters all over the down area here.
Are they going to make a big deal out of Patrick's Day?
They do now, and it's very, very successful now. It's been there a couple of years.
I think they should, because, people in Northern Ireland seem to be ashamed of it for some reason. For God's sake, don't they know how to enjoy themselves? Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yes. You're looking for, so you can book your times. Who's that other man there? Simon, you say you can book your times?
Yes, you can book your times for the attractions you want to go on.
Well, I'm sure that information will all be available on the website when it gets through there.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So you happy enough there, sir?
Yeah, that's me, Grant.
Simon, thank you very much for helping us out there.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much indeed.
Gerry,
bye.
Yes?
Just before you go, could I ask one more favour?
Yes, of course.
My brother was given a dog a couple of years ago. It's a big Samoy. Do you know the big white?
Oh, yes, the lovely things, yeah.
Beautiful dog.
Samoyed, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. He's about 3 years old. He's fully Kennel Club registered.
Yes.
But they've recently had a wee baby.
Yes.
They're finding it very difficult in the size of the house and that to look after the dog and the youngster. So one of them is going to have to go. So if there's anyone out there looking for a fully pedigreed
Samoyed pup?
No, he's about 3 years old. This guy, he's house trained. He's a very, very intelligent dog. Beautiful dog. Beautiful dog.
I don't imagine if any trouble getting rid of that.
Well, we don't want to give it to a breeder. We don't want to lock them in a kennel or anything like that. He's a brilliant big family dog.
Yeah.
And we'd like him to go to someone that would sort of walk him and look after him,
Yeah. Is this isn't the young dog, is it? Is this the 3-year-old?
About 3 years old. About 3 years old, Still young enough to be integrated in the family and that.
Yeah, that's for 3 years is nothing.
I wouldn't know that there for a beautiful dog, this one,
No, I've seen those dogs. They're absolutely beautiful. All right, then, sure, leave your number there.
I think Sean's got it there. If he has,
yeah, he has.
If he doesn't want to come back on, he must have it then. Okay.
Okay, no, he's got it. Okay, then. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, no problem. Bye.
Love it.
Bye. See the way we help people?
Yeah, there's a call on too.
Is there?
Who was on the phone?
Who?
Do you remember the Mad Butcher?
Which Mad Butcher was that?
Brian the Mad Butcher from Portaferry.
Oh, he was off his head, yeah.
Yes, he was on the phone.
What does he want?
Well, he's got some information for Thomas. He's left a telephone number. But he also wants to know, can he book a couple of tickets for your boat trip?
Of course he can, but we can't promise anything at the moment because we haven't really dotted the I's. Yet. No, we have the boat. Yeah. We haven't dotted the I's or indeed crossed the T's. Uh-huh. It's something that's ahead of us.
What will he bring, Michael?
Michael will be there, as indeed will Geordie.
Your first Michael.
Michael who disappeared.
Michael, your first Michael,
Michael from Portaferry. The original Michael.
Yeah.
And whatever, I think his bald spot got bigger.
Yeah, maybe the Mad Butcher will bring him.
Maybe the Mad Butcher. Well, I'd like to see him again, one of our old crew.
Yes. Remember, he was the man that brought in the very first to bring in the roving reports.
Absolutely. And speaking of roving reports, look at his legacy.
There's a call in too.
I know, but his legacy's going on apace.
Yes.
Because a person writes to me today via the email, and he's our new upper torso correspondent. Mm-hmm. I'll just read the letter he has. First of all, thank you for making me your new upper torso correspondent in light of the recent intensive political negotiations going on and not wanting to shirk responsibility as upper torso correspondent. I attempted to observe the difference between the two communities. So, without any fear for my own personal safety, I headed down to the bosom of the communities up the falls and down the Shankle, standing at a juncture. My findings are very interesting and, indeed, with little exception, echoed a previous study that you yourself had carried out about the community bakeries in and around Derry, Stoke, London, Derry City area. That is, coming to the conclusion that Catholic baps are larger than those of Protestant ones. And may I say, including tarts. And indeed, various sundry small buns. I have noticed, and I don't mind saying this, and I hope people don't take offence, that if one goes into a Protestant bakery, nearly everything is smaller than what is encountered in the Protestant bakery. That includes Chester bread, soreheads, and indeed Paris buns. And indeed, apple squares. This, see, what I don't know what that is. Does it imply that Catholics are greedy? Do you know why that is? Have you thought about this? Why Catholic apple squares are bigger
Strange as it
than...
may seem, I have never given it a moment's thought.
Hello, Ailish?
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, how are you?
I thought you were never going to come.
Well, I have.
Oh, yes, you've arrived.
Okay.
Well, I thought it was because you realised that I was on to complain.
I didn't know what you were on about.
Oh, you weren't on, right. Well, about 3 weeks ago, Gerry, I sent a self-stamped address envelope asking you for a copy of the poem The Rubber Man.
Yes.
And I haven't received it.
No word yet?
No word.
Listen now, do you have access to the... Do you have access to the internet?
Yes.
It's on that.
Oh, is it?
Oh, of course it is. What's our
that's even
website?
better.
It's on our website.
Oh, right.
Oh,
then
yes.
I'll get
it's
on
our
that.
unofficial website and it's on our official website. I'll get you the addresses of them after this thing here.
Right. Well, also,
they're on
Gerry,
there.
when I have you on,
Yes.
I have a radiogram, which I would love someone, if they could let me know if it's of any value or if anyone would be interested in it.
Yes.
It's about, at least 50-year-old. It's a Ferguson. It's a beautiful piece of furniture, but unfortunately it doesn't really suit my home. It was my father's. And it's a stereogram. I think when he bought it, we were led to believe that it was one of the first stereograms. If there be anybody out there, I know all we have to do is phone Gerry Anderson and he solves all our problems.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yes.
You'll have no trouble getting rid of that.
I would hope, I don't think so, but I would just love someone, I would like it to go to a good home, somebody who would appreciate it.
That's worth money.
Just like that dog.
That's worth money.
Do you think so?
Yes, it is.
Oh, super.
The last time you had one of those, the phone nearly went off the hook.
Ah.
Oh, really?
Good.
No, those are very much sought after. Did you ever keep any washing in it?
I will know. We never got around to that now.
Many
you never
people
know.
do.
There has been lots of other things kept in it, but not that.
And the record player's in the middle.
It is, that's right, yes.
All right, and 2 speakers in the side.
And there's the radio and the turntable, of course.
I can tell you now, before you even begin to talk about this, that you'll be inundated with offers. Don't be giving it away to the first person who rings.
Right.
Play one off the other. We've
I
got
would
your
need
number.
you here to do a bit of bargaining.
No, I'll nothing to do with it. I'll just, if people want your number, you don't mind if we give it to them.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Okay.
No problem.
So you've got a Ferguson, a radiogram, at least 50 years old.
Yes.
And is in good condition.
Oh, it is, yes. It's a beautiful piece of furniture.
One careful owner.
My father had it and then I've taken possession of it.
Any Dano records in it?
Oh, well, God, you never know. There could be. I know we have Perry Como. No, you know.
Have you read it out yet, as they say?
Not at all.
Have you read it out?
Oh, no, I haven't read it out.
Oh, you'll have good fun
God, I
reading
wouldn't do that.
No, you'll have good fun reading it out before you... You have to read it out before you sell it.
You never know what you might find.
Oh, you might find...
You never know. The washing could be there.
You might find a Victoria Cross or something in there.
I doubt it.
All right, then, okay. We've got your number. Anyone's interested in buying your 50-year-old Ferguson radiogram?
Yes.
I'm sure you'll have that'll be out of your house by tonight, I'll tell you.
Oh,
that.
super.
Okay.
That's great. Well, it was lovely speaking to you, Gerry.
Nice to speak to
We
you.
thoroughly enjoy your programme.
Thank you very
Listen to
much.
it as often as we possibly can. And certainly it's we laugh heartily.
Well, that's good. Thank you very much indeed.
It's a great programme. Long may it continue.
Well,
Thanks
thank
a
you.
million for everything,
Thank you.
Gerry. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye. That lady have no trouble getting that radiogram away. Right, nearly coming up. Well, it's nearly 11 o'clock now. After news, we'll be talking to 2 very talented singer-songwriters. First of all, Henry McCullough. Henry's new album is out. Henry's going to be talking about his new album. And then a fine singer called Susan Enan. Be talking to those after the news. What?
Who wrote Little Old Wine Drinker Me? Could you settle an argument?
I don't really care.
No, but we don't care. Well, that's not what we asked you. We didn't ask you, do you care? Just asked you, who wrote Little Old Wine Drinker Me?
I really don't know.
See, there's an argument going on. And,
Who do they think wrote it?
One guy thinks it was Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum recorded it. I think he recorded it before Dean Martin.
He didn't write it,
I
no.
don't think he wrote it.
No. What's the other one? Shel Silverstein?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know who wrote
No,
it.
I know. But
Stop annoying me about those. That's not quiz questions. Take that back to your local pub.
I really would. Someday I will.
We'll be back after the news at approximately 4 minutes past 11 o'clock.
'92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock. This is the news with Linda Ray. The Secretary of State, Paul Murphy, says he expects the pro-agreement parties will agree to restore devolution next month. After 2 days of talks at Hillsborough Castle, the parties will now consult their supporters on the proposals for a deal. The Assembly elections have been postponed for 4 weeks to allow them to do this. The Prime Minister and the Taoiseach will return to Northern Ireland next month to present their blueprint to restore devolution. Secretary of State Paul Murphy says he's confident the parties will sign up to the deal.
And I'm convinced in my own mind that when they see in April what it is that is on offer, as it were, in the round, they themselves will understand that we will have made great strides and that the institutions will be restored and that we'll go forward in Northern Ireland to a period of peace, prosperity and stability.
A man is expected to appear in court charged with the murder of a man at Dufferin Avenue in Bangor at the weekend. 36-year-old Michael O'Hare was pronounced dead after he was pulled from a burning flat. And 2 men are due in court charged with grievous bodily harm with intent. It's understood the charges relate to a weekend incident at Greymount Crescent in North Belfast, in which a man was badly beaten up in his home. Visits to Maghaberry Prison have been cancelled for a second day. It follows the discovery of a detonator and 2 bullets. They were found during searches of the prison complex. Family and legal visits to Bush House and Row House have been cancelled until the search is completed. Insults have been flying at an emergency summit of Islamic countries called to discuss the Iraq crisis. The second in command of Iraq's Revolutionary Command Council, Izzat Ibrahim, called a Kuwaiti foreign minister a monkey. He then warned that the United States will be taught a lesson it won't forget if it invades his country. Claire Marshall is at the summit in the Gulf state of Qatar.
In this emergency meeting of the largest Muslim organisation in the world, the idea is to try to find a common voice supporting a peaceful resolution to the crisis. However, there has already been a heated exchange of opinion between some of the delegates. As the conference continues, just down the road, 3,000 American troops at the US military headquarters outside Doha prepare to launch an invasion of Iraq. Behind the scenes, the private view of the delegations is now less about how to avoid a war and more about how to try to influence the US vision for a post-Saddam Iraq.
Meanwhile, Tony Blair has held talks about Iraq with the Russian Foreign Minister Igor Ivanov. Yesterday, Mr. Ivanov told BBC News that Moscow was still prepared to use its UN veto to try to avert a war in Iraq. The American actor Martin Sheen says he suffered a backlash over his role in the anti-war movement. The star of the television show The West Wing says he's received hate mail from people who disagree with his opposition to a war in Iraq. The Chancellor, Gordon Brown, has announced the date of the budget. It'll be on Wednesday, the 9th of April, instead of March, when it's usually delivered. There had been speculation that Mr. Brown might delay the event because of the prospect of war in Iraq. The weather bright and blustery with sunny spells and showers and a maximum of 10 Celsius. BBC Radio Ulster News.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news.
Starting with public transport, and due to mechanical difficulties on the Portrush rail line, a bus substitution service is in place. Also, some delays can be expected on the Londonderry line. Stena Line are advising passengers that due to technical difficulties, all high-speed departures from Belfast and Stranraer are running 30 minutes behind schedule. However, passengers are asked to check in as normal. And finally, resurfacing work continues on the A2 Coast Road, New Road in Glenarm. Traffic controls are in place and some delays are possible. Sinead Maguire reporting.
Travel news from BBC Radio Ulster.
Welcome back. That's it. 4 minutes past 11 o'clock. Gerry Anderson here. I'll be here until 12 o'clock, until David comes to frighten the people about David Trimble walking away. The number to ring is 08459 555 678. You can send us an email at jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. I've got a lot of emails to deal with here. We've had a lot of inquiries about the lady who was on yesterday, Thelma, talking about sending stuff off to India, to the poor kids over there. On yesterday's show, we had lots of emails like this. We had a lady from Belfast talking about an orphanage in Hyderabad in India. I'd like the contact details. We'll give you those contact... What?
Sorry, did I interrupt?
Yes.
Well, a man says, what about the number for the radiogram?
Have you not got it?
No. I don't even know what radiogram you're talking about.
The last lady I was talking to, who was I talking to before the news there?
Me?
No, not you. On the phone. I was talking to someone on the phone there before the news, remember?
Oh, it was Geraldine's girl.
Geraldine's girl. Well, that girl,
that was,
that's the person who's got the radiogram. Is it too much to ask Geraldine to maybe give you the number?
No, we thought you had it.
I didn't have it.
Do we have a number for a radiogram?
No, it's the person I talked to.
Yes. Okay,
yes.
right, that's okay.
Why do I sometimes feel
that is now clear. A man says that Gerry read out a number for a radio... Or Gerry was to give out a number for a radiogram. That's what he said to me, that you were to give out a number for the radiogram. Could you have it, please?
Now, if you listen to this programme, you would know what's going on. You have the number, and you will give it to people who will ring and ask for it. I don't want to give out that lady's personal number, because she seems like an innocent sort of a person, and she doesn't realise the number of crazy people that are out there, including yourself. We don't want people ringing up that she doesn't want to talk to. So if anyone rings you and seems reasonable, you give her that number if you get it off Geraldine. Seems a simple enough task to me. Can't see why you have to refer to me and interrupt to me about it. I've got another email I want to read here, if you just give me a moment.
Yeah.
We live in uneasy times, says Bridget Greer-Wolfe. Who's afraid of Bridget Greer-Wolfe? Not me. We live in uneasy times. World War III is nigh. Bush and Blair are just itching to whip Saddam's ass, and I am just itching to whip some myself, she says. I refer to those sad individuals across the province who so desperately need a woman in their lives that they're prepared to traipse halfway across the world to buy one. Referring, of course, to a programme on last week whereby men from Ulster with white legs and the wrong shorts went out to the Philippines to bring back women. And the tacit assumption being that they couldn't get one here. As a feminist, Gerry, I feel it my duty to speak up for the sisterhood. Some of the things I've heard on your show lately have nearly driven me to gnashing my cosmetic orthodontia. That's teeth to you. Why? Because sadly there are still quite a number of Ulstermen who seem not to have left the Cro-Magnon stage when it comes to women. That's the stage before primitive. I've chosen your show as my organ, Gerry, rather than Big David's, because I feel that you and Mr. Coyle are more sensitive to the needs of women in general and the plight of your most unfortunate brothers in particular. Yes, we're tuned into the Ulster Mail. We know what deep, deep trouble he's in. Also, a couple of years back, you helped me lead a very successful Down with the Leggings campaign targeting the ladies of Ulster. Yes, we led a very successful campaign because many ladies with what we could call cellulite were making the mistake of wearing very tight leggings, thereby showing up their various irregular bulges, much to the concern and consternation of many of the men looking at them. And just look at the strides we've made in that. So buoyed up was I with this success that I now feel it's only fair to help the gents sort themselves out. I can't stand idly by, says she, quoting a well-known Taoiseach. Whilst they condemn some hapless Thai or Filipino women to a diet of sausage and chips in the shadow of a satellite dish in the rain-swept environs of Ballymena. I'm sure you'll agree my solution is a good one. There are, however, some ugly facts that need clarification first. Clarification. Ugly fact number 1. Listen to this carefully. Women want their men lean and handsome, which is why they've always flocked to me, as a matter of fact. Just as much as men want their women slim and beautiful, women want their men lean and handsome. Dare I say that the real reason for, shall we call it, the Asian migration is because we ladies are no longer able to accept sacks of spuds as protective husbands. And don't get me started on intelligence and personality, or I'll be here all day. You know, the Ulster Mail, do you know what I'm going to tell you?
All right.
No, you're not listening. I was let me just say this. There's something very strange going on in Northern Ireland. I wore a particular suit one night. I'm not making this up. And it wasn't a very unusual suit. No, it was a very stylish kind of a suit. Not a sort of suit that, let's put it this way, that you don't buy here. And I was in a well-known pub, and three different men said to me, "Are you wearing that for a bet?" That's all I'm going to say. Ugly fact number 2. The undeniable truth, Gerry, is that we live in a society where men of a certain age believe that by donning a pair of jeans and trainers, they will instantly look years younger and become irresistible to women. Sorry, boys. It won't work. A pair of jeans out of Duns will do little to disguise a fat belly or indeed rescue an arse that has disappeared or collapsed and decided to migrate southward. We have many migrating arses in Northern Ireland. Many have migrated to behind a man's knees. No more so than a comb over, a syrup, that's syrup of wig, or baseball cap can camouflage a bald pate, as I have discovered to my chagrin. However, help is at hand. Here's the solution. The solution is expensive and one may say painful, but the benefits far outweigh these negatives. The magic phrase is, yes, you've guessed it, cosmetic surgery. Makes perfect sense. In Southeast Asia, it costs half what it is here, and the surgeons are highly skilled due to the demand for the gender realignment procedure. In case you don't know what that is, it's men wanting to be girls. The GRP, gender realignment procedure, is very popular in Thailand, I hear. Not a week passes on the internet when I read about some Filipino lumberjack who changed his whole life, and a lot more besides, under the surgeon's knife. So the truth is out there, or rather, if your Asian bride spent more on razor blades than you do, I'd be very suspicious. But I digress. My advice to all you boys is this. As you mount the steps of your no-frills airline, clutching your Bry nylon hold-all with the wrong shorts in your big white legs, and 40 Benson and Hedges secure in your breast pockets, and hopes high in your heart, think again. Say to yourself, this need not be. I could buy a more flattering silhouette instead of a woman and have change left over to try out my new body on the Khao San Road in Bangkok. In other words, instead of going off to Thailand to buy a woman, go off and get something done about yourself. Here are the procedures on offer in Southeast Asia. Given the misshapen men I see running around the province on a regular basis, I would suggest the full Monty, the FBA lift, face, belly and arse. Facelift, the biochemical non-invasive peel. Sounds painful, but well worth it. Bevels away all ridges, bumps, lumps, warts, and any residual scarring from those Saturday night brawls or curry burns. Also, we'll remove that purplish patina from the nose, which betrays one dedication to the crater. Never a good sign. A sign of great mounds and heaps of stout and whiskey poured down a man's throat. Leave a mark. The belly and arse lift, more commonly known as the full body lift. Very successful procedure, this, since nothing is wasted. Liposuction to belly and buttocks simply means what is sucked out of the first one is pumped back into the latter. Are you listening to this?
I'm not listening to it, but can I just tell you something?
All right, do your best, Michael.
Whenever you're finished,
yes,
could you take a wee quick call from Dawn? She sounds lovely. She sounds your cup of tea.
So what you do is, liposuction to the belly, you get the fat taken out of the belly, you get it in your arse.
Why?
Because men... arses are disappearing after 45. He pumps up your...
Okay, right. Right.
Goodbye to those migrating genes. Any excess is hauled up and tucked into the oxter cavity. In the words of Nigella Lawson, how clever is that? Oxters and feet. A series of Botox injections to armpits and feet will stop sweating for 6 months and kill all malodorous whiffs stone dead. Very desirable for the farming man with a whiff from under his oxter. If the Sunday Pew or the Sainsbury's checkout is anything to go by, they're all at it. Have you ever stood in the Sainsbury queue? Are you aware of the bodily odours emanating from men in Northern Ireland?
Yeah.
Are you aware of this?
Yeah.
And that's it, Gerry. I think it's quite enough to be getting on with, don't you? Because at the end of the day, all we ladies want is this. Floppy hair, a la Hugh Grant, a lantern jaw, a washboard stomach, like mine, and a pair of taut thighs. Is it too much to ask? I leave that question in your capable hands and for the Brotherhood to ponder. That's from Bridget Greer-Wolfe. A formidable lady, I have to say.
There's Dawn.
Any women who have any answer to that, give us a ring at 08459 555 678, or indeed any man with a dropped arse or otherwise.
Why didn't you phone her?
I'm all right.
Yeah, you have a nurse on you like a claw hammer.
Hello, good morning. Clawhammer here. Who is this? Where is this? Is there someone there?
Yeah, Dawn.
Dawn. Dawn.
Hello.
Hello, Dawn. How are you?
Gerry. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Sorry for keeping you waiting.
Don't worry. Gerry, I'm ringing up because apparently a few weeks ago you gave out a recipe for an Irish dumpling.
I somehow don't recall that.
Do you not? No. Well, everyone keeps telling me that you certainly did give this recipe out.
I'm not a recipe man. Did I give out a recipe for dumpling?
Yes, apparently
Irish
so,
dumpling?
according to Dawn.
Yeah, there's bread and fruit, and it's sort of boiled in some linen or something.
Boiled in linen?
Yeah, a linen cloth.
Bread and fruit boiled? That doesn't sound like any dumpling any Ulsterman worth his salt would buy.
Well, apparently in the olden days, Gerry, that's what everyone ate. And I'm ringing up on behalf of Ards Evangelical to try and get the recipe from you.
You're ringing up on behalf of what?
Ards Evangelical.
Ards Evangelical? What's that?
It's a church.
Oh, sorry.
And we're holding an Irish night on the 12th of March.
Right, okay.
And we're doing soda bread and all the rest, but we want to sort of do some Irish dumplings.
Right. Well, you see, if I read out a recipe for Irish dumpling, it means that someone forced me to do it.
Good.
Which means that it was probably against my will.
Oh, come on.
Which is why I probably don't remember it. Which it leads me to the conclusion that someone probably gave it to me and I don't have it. Do we have a record of this anywhere?
Right,
no, apparently not. Apparently they're shaking their heads or whatever passes for their heads.
So you don't keep all these lovely recipes that come into you,
Well,
Gerry,
I don't, but it's Geraldine's job to do, but she normally doesn't. I will make inquiries, and if indeed there is no trace of it, I will ask people out there if anyone... Wendy's what?
Wendy phoned. Wendy's got it for Dawn.
Will you give Dawn Wendy's phone number?
Excellent.
I shall.
That's great.
That's it sorted out.
Sure, it's not just wonderful, Gerry.
All right, Dawn. Ards Evangelical.
Ards Evangelical.
That's nice. Okay, and then you're having an Irish night.
We're having an Irish night.
That's excellent. Okay, I hope you have a good night.
We will do.
All right, then.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, dear. That's Paul McCartney and Wings. That's a song from an album called Red Rose Speedway. It's called Big Barn Bed, and the man playing guitar on that track is sitting in front of me, Henry McCullough. Good morning, Henry.
Morning, Gerry. How you doing?
You've got a new album out, Henry.
That's
and
right.
You've covered that. Why did you cover that?
Well, I was sitting in the house one day with a drop D on the old guitar, and it sounded nice and sort of folky and bouncy, and then I came back to it later, and then I thought it would make a nice track to jump about to. Like, the lyrics are nothing special, you know, they're a play on words really, but it bounces along and I enjoyed it, you know.
That's a good record.
It's really a wee tribute to your man as well, you know.
It is. And your man as well, McCartney, as you know well, he's playing in Dublin very shortly.
That's right. At huge expense, I believe.
Exactly. And I was just saying to you earlier on, I may as well share it with the listeners, apparently the tickets are going on the black market for huge amounts of money. It's going to be, there you are now. See, their popularity. Never dies.
Well,
he's got the magic, hasn't he?
He has. He might never be here again, you know, like, because...
I know. Do you keep in touch with him at all?
Only by writing to him, you know.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't phone him or anything, you know, but I do keep in touch, you know.
When are you going to write your book? You have to
as
write
soon
a
as
book.
your next one's out.
You have to write a book, because of all the people that I know in Northern Ireland and Ireland, you have led an interesting life. You have done everything. You have to. If you don't write a book, you should be whipped. You have to write a book. You have to write a book. From starting off with the Skyrockets and Enniskillen.
That's right.
To Woodstock, to Wings, to Joe Cocker, to God knows everybody in the world who's any good, like Sweeney's Men, the traditional music, rock music, show band music. I mean, you've done everything.
All sorts. All
everything.
sorts.
You have to write the book.
Well, I've been thinking about it. I thought about it, about 4 or 5 years ago when I spoke with my friend Trevor Hodgett, who does a bit of writing, and he was going to help me with it, but recently I sort of caught on to the idea it might be worthwhile, like putting things down, you know.
Do it yourself. Do it yourself.
Yeah, but, to squash it into a page, if you know what I mean, and you would have to be quite discreet here and there, if you know what I mean.
No, the hell with discreet. No. See, the longer you leave it, the less discretionary you have to be.
Yeah, well, maybe I could do 2 and bring that in. Part 2,
Better to do it yourself. What I would advise you to do it, and I'm no expert, what you should write it down yourself and then get somebody to kind of just put it into shape for you, rather than sit and talk to some guy.
Well, that's sort of what I've been thinking about, because it has come back to me, and I think, well, why not,
You have to do it.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, because for God's sake, I know people who are writing books who've done nothing. Your new album out, that's what we're here to talk about. It's a very good album, Henry. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's called Unfinished Business. You had a bit of trouble getting it together. It was supposed to be released a while back, but now it's out.
It's out now. We had, after it was finished, it'll be a year at the end of April since we started it. But I didn't know at the time that you had to have a license now if you're covering other people's songs, and that with the MCPS sometimes takes forever and paperwork. And then they arrived on the 25th, or the 20th rather, in Enniskillen. We were doing a couple of gigs and they sent them there. That was before Christmas, that was December.
Yeah.
And I opened the box and all the lettering was wrong, the colouring was wrong and everything else. So they had to take it back and redo everything, So I was waiting on other people,
I know.
Which is always a bit of a strain sometimes, but there we go.
And even on the sleeve notes here, look, you're looking back a bit. You're talking about, there's a little piece here about 1960, Port Stewart, County Derry, when you were 17.
Yeah.
Starting off with who?
The Skyrocket Show.
I remember you in the Skyrocket
Do you?
Show.
Really?
Yes, I remember you playing in the Borderlands. Yeah, you kind of an air of menace about you.
Oh,
I think you had.
I've mellowed a bit.
No, you're a bit menace. And there's a photograph of you there, look, with... is that Cecil Kettles?
That's the Cecil Kettles.
Kettles gone
That's
now,
the Skyrockets now. Yeah, God rest him, he's gone now.
Hold on a second.
Sorry for interrupting you two guys, but Frank O'Neill from the Skyrockets wishes Henry all the best with his new album and his career.
Who was Frank O'Neill? What did Frank play?
Frank O'Neill.
Who was Frank?
He played bass.
He played bass, yeah.
Singer, bass player.
That's right.
So long ago, and there was people came in after I'd gone,
I know, but do you notice that? I mean, it's very embarrassing actually, because you don't seem to realise how long ago that was. I remember, in a minor way, I played in wee bands myself, and I met a guy the other day, and he said, "How are you?" I said, "Hello." He said, "I played in a band with you." I said, "Did you?" Frank McBride, the singer.
Yeah,
Frank's a good singer.
Yeah.
I said, "I played in the band for 3 months." I said, "Did you?" He said, "What did you play?" I said, "I played drums." I said, "At the same time I was," I didn't remember him. I didn't remember, and I felt so embarrassed. I said, "You don't remember?" I said, "No." I said, was that the time I was on the pills?
Another call from a gentleman from Belfast, Charlie from Belfast, and Charlie wants Henry to clear up the myth about Woodstock. This legend.
That's a silly old one.
Yes, but you were one of the boys that started it.
It wasn't me started that myth.
It was.
There was a rumour went about that you had said at one stage, Henry, that somebody had asked you what was it like to play at Woodstock, and you said, I don't know, I can't remember.
No, not at all. I can remember it like it was yesterday, Gerry, really.
You played with Joe Cocker in Woodstock.
That's right.
And it's in the film.
Yeah.
And it's all rubbish.
No, that's old 1969 hippie myth, like everybody's supposed to be out there, but it wasn't the case at all. I can remember every bit of it,
Well, as far as I know, you're the only man from Port Stewart who played in Woodstock.
And I think I might have been the only one in Ireland as well.
Right. This album's very good. There's some covers, but there's some. You've written quite a few of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 8 out of 14 tracks you've written yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Let's hear one before we go any further.
Great.
What's your favourite one, if I can pin you down?
Well, I haven't found one yet among it. I like the whole thing, but I'll leave it up to your own.
No. Ask which one.
Well,
which
stick
one
on Last of the Blue Man.
Last of the Blue Man. Right, that's track 1, yeah. Okay. Right. Sometimes I've bothered playing these. And this is it. This is Last of the Blue Man from Henry's album. It's called Unfinished Business.
You stay up all night and try to get some sleep. Said you would only stay for a week. You never shut up about kicking someone's ass. With your physical presence, boy, your technical class. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. A week passed by, you were really on the road. Just a little longer, I don't know, I suppose it just might be alright. But you really ought to know, time is running out, time you really got to go. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Will you finally split what a mess you left? You're everything you wanted, no more and no less. Corners slipped in many a bend, and the likes of you, boy, I don't always see you again. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Never call me on the telephone. Hey, boy, what's going on? Give me that. Hey, you owe me for this too. You talk so nice. Yes, sir. All right, sir. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. Get out of my house and don't come back. I glad that that boy has gone. The leaving of Ireland of the last of the blue men.
That's a rather unusual ending, that, Henry.
Yeah, just we were singing the vocals, and that came in, and I just kept it. It made up for a good title.
You have some unusual songs on this. Now, there's a nice song that I like. It's a country song. I couldn't sleep for thinking of Hank Williams.
Yeah.
People wouldn't think of you as being a country fan.
Oh, big country fan. I would, have sort of grown up with country and country music and pop, really.
Yeah.
But I always had a great likeness for country music.
Did you see that program on BBC Two the other night about Hank Williams, the Lost Highway?
I missed that, but I saw the one really before. Good. I know them boys were something else,
Really good.
Yeah.
And here's another one which I think I know what this is about. It's an old piece of wood.
That's about
That's about your fabled lost guitar.
That's the very one. I just sat down and I was really upset for about 2 weeks, And at the end of the day, that's all it was compared to the other things going on around the world, and, I had nothing to moan about because all it was really an old piece of wood, and now gone,
But that was a guitar that had been with you how long?
32 years I played it.
I mean, that'd been with you from the very start, obviously. Nearly from the very start. Was it the first guitar you bought?
That's not the first, no. I had one before that, a 355 that I swapped for a Telecaster when I left show bands and went to England. But it didn't sort of seem to suit me, and I made an awful mistake by doing it, as one does here and there. And but I went back to playing. I had a little short scale Gibson I brought from America and swapped it for that particular 335.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had the painting on it by John Napper, and he would have been the portrait painter of the royal family in the 50s or something. And I met him through his interest in folk and traditional music.
And he actually...
Well, I asked him and all me if he'd paint the guitar, but I didn't know that who he was or what he did, apart from the fact that he painted.
Yeah.
But he's a very famous man, or he was. He's passed on now.
Well, that would have been... I bet you whoever stole that guitar, because you can be sure it's been stolen.
Absolutely.
Whoever stole that guitar would probably have no idea.
No, they would probably sort of get a Brillo pad or something and scrape it all off. Honestly,
That's probably what they did.
Take it back to the wood,
All right. Henry, I just want to take a call here from an old man here. It's an old man. Hello, old man.
I'm the same age as you.
Yeah.
Listen, you started the programme today by Ricky Nelson.
Yes.
I have an LP, which I think was one of the last he recorded. It was called Ricky Nelson and the Stone Canyon Band.
Yes.
And it was recorded in 1971 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Did Henry ever get and playing anything like that by Rick Nelson?
Did you?
No, I never did. No.
Did you like Rick Nelson? He became a well-respected country singer after his initial kind of flirtation with pop.
Yeah, he was just a little bit before my time,
Yeah, but he's not before James's time, though.
So, no, he's not before yours either. He's not before yours either.
So are you talking to me or Henry?
Well, pardon? No, you.
Me?
Yeah, he's not before your time.
Henry's much older than I am.
No, he is not. You're the same age as I am. And don't be saying you're not, because I know you are.
Nobody's as old as you are.
I know you are.
Did you yes?
Go ahead.
Did you like Ricky Nelson?
I did. And you see that Garden Party, that's an excellent track.
That's great. Yeah.
You're quite right about that.
Uh-huh.
About him being booed off the stage and so forth.
That's right. I know what it's like to be booed off the stage.
Why were you booed off on a flamingo?
I was booed off many's a time. I used to play, I'll tell you, Penny, you probably remember this. There was a little dance hall. Where was it? Christla in County Donegal.
Yeah, I know.
I remember playing there one time. It's a corrugated iron hut, and it's actually still there.
That's right. Not so long ago, actually. Yeah.
I passed it not so long ago, but I remember playing there with the band. It was remember those gather-up bands? Yeah. The band leader would have a band a year ago, and then he'd get the date, you see. And then by the time the date came around, the band was broke up. So the guy still had the date in his diary.
So he enlisted you?
So what he did was, he knew he could get 100 quid if he brought a bunch of boys up to play. So he enlisted us. He gathered up whoever was hanging around the brew. So we went up and we played, and we were so bad that they threw pennies and sweets at us. And it was great because the sweets were lovely.
I can't.
And the pennies mount up.
I can't imagine you being booed off stage.
Oh, I booed. I actually had to defend myself in the City Hall in Cork. We were attacked by the audience.
You
we
were
were attacked by the audience, Henry.
Well, we had hard time getting out of out from behind the marquee when Sweeney's men were doing the rounds, and we didn't have any. Like, it was just acoustic instruments, and we were supporting some band, and there was hundreds and hundreds of people where the amplification wasn't enough, and we didn't have pickups and that.
Well, there wasn't enough noise for them.
There wasn't enough noise, and that was it. And the guy actually locked the gate to try and stop us getting out, you know, but there was a mad rush and flying arms, and we were way down the road, unpaid, I might add.
Did you not get paid?
No, I did not.
No, that's one of the horrible things about when the crowd attacks you.
That's terrible, not getting paid.
It's a long time ago.
Normally you don't get paid. And one of the other reasons why you don't get paid is if you hit the promoter. I was in a band one time and one of our guys hit the promoter.
It wasn't you, was it?
I've never hit anybody in my life. No, one of our guys thumped the promoter. That's what he said. When he picked himself up from the floor, he said, "This means you're not getting paid, boys, you realise?"
You didn't get paid. Well, all the best, Jay.
All right, then.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Pardon?
You told lies on there. And you tried to get Henry McCullough to tell lies as well.
What lies did I tell?
You lied through your teeth.
About what?
About that dance hall, the little corrugated hut.
No, it's still there.
No, it's not.
It is.
It is not there.
Henry, this is what I have to put up with.
It is not Henry McCullough. I'm surprised at you. When did you last pass it, Henry?
On my way up to do a show for Tina G not so long ago, up into the area, you know.
Well,
and it looked like the one I played in anyway. And very small it was too.
Yeah. A man said that he knows the area very, very well, and there's a block of flats there where that dance hall used to be.
Tell him to keep out of it.
And also, he asked you two boys.
What do you mean, boys? Sarcastic? See how that sarcastic?
No, you see, I left it the cow.
Yeah. Cowboys.
Yes.
Yeah,
I left that out.
All right. Yeah.
What well-known singer came from Creasla?
Brady Gallagher.
It's correct. Well done.
Yeah.
What was Brady Gallagher's sister's name?
I don't know.
Liam.
What?
Grace. And
Grace
she was
Gallagher.
a better singer, apparently, than Brady.
See, no matter who you get, there's
I
always
know.
a version.
And the man said, no matter who you get on, doesn't matter. I mean, when you were talking to Henry McCullough about playing in Woodstock, he expected you to say that you were there too, and you remember something similar. You always have a better story than your guest.
I do not.
That's
always
what
have
the
a better
man
story.
said.
Well, tell him to keep his mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to turn you off now.
Right.
I mean, look, sorry, were you talking there?
Henry McCullough talking 1 minute about Woodstock.
Yes.
One of the biggest rock concerts of all time, go down in history. And what are you talking about? A tin hut in Creasla?
Well, you see, everybody knows about Woodstock, but how many people know about the tin hut in Creasla?
No, that's right.
See, I'm on top of it here. I got my finger on the pulse. Yeah, of course.
Scottish fortnight.
Everybody knows it. Everybody feels as if they've been at Woodstock.
Well, it's not there.
It's not there anymore.
The tin hut.
Well, it is. It's in Henry's backyard. All right, then. Just can you leave us alone, please? We're talking about this album. Right, Henry. What's the next track? What are we playing now?
I'm not sure, Jerry. I hadn't thought about it, but there's a nice country track on there, and it was done by the Hilltoppers.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's I Couldn't Sleep for Thinking of Hank Williams.
Yes, let's play that one.
Yeah.
And incidentally, for the benefit of people, Failed Christian was very popular in this programme a while back. I used to play it all the time. A lot of people would be interested to know what that's on it as well. Okay, this is called I Couldn't Sleep for Thinking of Hank Williams.
Couldn't sleep for thinking of Hank Williams. I closed my eyes and turned from side to side. I heard his lonesome broken heart beat right in time with mine. The And I cursed that night in 53, the night Hank Williams died. He was born in Butler County, Alabama. His daddy was a locomotive man. September in 1923, his mother Lily, she did agree that Hiram Hanks, the cutest boy in town. And he sang a song like no one ever sings one. Made it to the Grand Ole Opry with eyes shining bright, singing Nights of the Light, and placed himself in country history. And I couldn't sleep thinking of Hank Williams. Along the roads, hard the good times traveling. Stories told, loved by everyone. Their cheek and heart brought tears to all the broken lovers who felt scorn. The songs of love were sung to keep them broken-hearted lovers warm. I couldn't sleep for thinking of Hank Williams.
There we are. That's Henry McCullough. That's a song called I Couldn't Sleep for Thinking of Hank Williams. Henry, tell me about this album now. Where can we get it?
Well, you can get it at henrymcculloch.com or in Belfast at Knight's Record Shop, and Bridge Street in Oma, the record shop there, I'm not sure the name of it. Island Discs in Enniskillen.
Yeah.
Dempsey's, Port Stewart, James Henry's in Ballymoney, and of course Derry Sounds Around and Cool Discs.
Okay.
And next week it should be available up around the Armagh, Newry area.
All right then. Yeah. Are you planned any gigs in the near future, or are you just kind of playing it by ear or whatever?
I was sort of waiting on this to arrive, Gerry, and it sort of put a bit of a front. I couldn't do anything until it arrived, but now things are picking up again, and we're coming to Derry for the festival on the 3rd of May.
Yeah.
And I think that's I might try a little record launch together, just a little thing,
Yeah,
but the next gig would be in Derry on the 3rd of May, and there'd be some stuff around that,
Mm-hmm. So you'll keep us in you'll keep in touch with us. Yeah. We're joined by a young lady called Susan Enan. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning.
How are you? Put a wee bit near that microphone. I was funny. It's we don't work these things out. Susan, you're another fine singer-songwriter.
Thank you.
And I played your record a while back. It's very, very good indeed.
Cheers.
And you're up in this part of the woods because you're doing a gig tonight.
Gig tonight at the Dunglow Bar, and then a gig on Saturday in Belfast at the Aragall Inn.
Yeah, tell us a bit about yourself. You're obviously not from here. Well, you're English, but you seem to move amongst us.
Yeah, I've been living in Belfast for 7 years now, so practically one of the family, I suppose. But,
well, how did you end up in Belfast?
I was born in Cambridgeshire, went to Liverpool to study music, and discovered traditional Irish music, so I decided I wanted to come to Ireland. Wasn't sure north or south, and things just came together, I suppose. Belfast it was.
Well, did you have any Irish connection at all in any way, or your parents or grandparents or anything like that?
I found out afterwards, actually, that my great-grandparents all came from Northern Ireland, and I had no idea.
Yeah, you see.
So we found out all the graves and went to visit them and all that kind of stuff, so it's great.
You see, it was coursing through her veins, Henry. She didn't realise.
Destined to come home, I think.
But you studied music, didn't you, in England?
I did, in Liverpool, yeah.
What kind of music did you was it classical music?
Mostly classical. Although I did discover Woody Guthrie there, because I studied him for a little while as well, and I think that's what changed my whole attitude to folk music, learning Woody Guthrie tunes.
Yeah. Well, did you not find it difficult over here, more difficult than it would be in England, to get gigs and stuff like that? And, maybe perhaps it'd be easier in England because, after all, our social life, our nightlife here isn't what it was for various reasons. There's not as many gigs here as there would be in England. Did you find that a difficulty?
I think at first, yeah, but you just go where you feel you should be and then work everything out from there. I wanted to be where I was going to be happy. Everything else just fitted in, I suppose.
Yeah.
So.
And you write all your own songs?
I do, yeah.
What kind of stuff do you like?
Listening to Norah Jones a lot at the moment. The whole Oh Brother Where Art Thou thing, obviously, that's been huge. Love all that stuff. I've got a lot of friends in Nashville, so they introduced me to bluegrass and Alison Krauss. And
yeah.
So.
Yeah. And have you been to Nashville?
Yeah, I was there a couple of weeks ago, just before the tour started.
Well, do you not think you might have a better chance over there?
Do you know, no, because everybody's doing it, so nobody wants to move there. Everyone's it's so hard to get shows there, Everyone's working in the industry, so no, I wouldn't go to Nashville.
Henry, did you ever spend much time in Nashville?
Never did, Gerry, no. But 2 days I stayed and did the Hall of Fame walk, and all that sort of thing, and Hank Williams, bits and pieces, and they've all there, Jim Reeves' guitar and all that sort of stuff. I went as a tourist, but I haven't done any gigs in Nashville.
But you must have spent a lot of time in America over the years.
I did. I lived in America for 2 years on and off. And with Joe, we didn't really get that. The latter end of Joe Cocker prior to what he's doing now, that never really got off the ground. But I travelled with Frankie Miller.
Yeah.
And with the Grease Band and the Faces, the Grease Band did a lot of support for different bands, the Faces being one of them,
Yeah.
But we had, in Detroit, I remember there was The Who we were supporting, Buddy Rich and his orchestra.
My God.
And the Grease Band,
Must have been, that was a great time to be in there.
From 68 through the whole thing, we were in America, or I was in America at that particular time, and it was it was really, really fabulous, Everything was rose-coloured, as they say. But
write the book. Write the book.
I will. I'll get down to the first paragraph when I get home later on.
Susan, you've got a record out now, the single Moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a bit about that.
Well, it was written a couple of years ago, and we made it in. We made it in a friend's bedroom, actually, in Oxford. The bass player's sitting on the bed and the drummer's in the next bedroom, and everyone else is kind of just sitting around on chairs above a newsagent's while all the traffic's going by.
Well, this is the very first time we've ever played a record that was made above a newsagent for traffic going by. So here we go. This is Susan Enan and a song you wrote yourself, called Moonlight. Here we go.
Did you ever do any stuff with
with good friends. Well, that was
You and me, and a small mystery. Moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. Ever high, but together by moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. on each side of this moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. Oceans wide, I see the other side. Moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. It's never that far. I still can see our moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. Blowing a kiss on each side of this moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. Blowing a kiss on each side of this old moonlight, moonlight, moonlight.
That's Susan Enan. That's Moonlight. Susan, is this from an album, or tell me, are you planning to make an album, or what is this?
Yeah, we are planning to do an album. That was just a taster, though, just putting it out, seeing what people thought of it before we went and spent a bucket load of money trying to get 10 songs recorded, you know. So,
No, it's really good. I wish you all the best with it.
thanks.
Maybe Henry give you some advice, an old head on old shoulders.
Oh, I think you learn along the way.
All right. Henry, we're going to play one more track before we go. Give us another track here.
Well,
what about Belfast to Boston? I love this. Can we play that?
Yeah, of course. It's the short version. And I put it on there because the last, it was on the Belfast to Boston CD. But I think, to be honest with you, it's the only one that I really felt any love towards. The rest of it, under different circumstances, Gerry, in Poland and stuff. And this CD should have really been the original Belfast to Boston album with material and all that's on it, but it wasn't to be. And I thought I'd do it again here with a little bit of an accordion and a scratchy fiddle to try and add something to it. Not that the other one on the acoustic version and the instrumental bit, it's like a different way of working it, you know. But the song remains the same, as they say.
No, I like it. So we'll play this. This is Belfast to Boston. That's from Henry's album Unfinished Business. And Henry, thank you for coming in.
It's been a great pleasure, Gerry, to be able to sit here between you and Sean.
And Susan Enan, thank you very much for coming in, and I wish you all the best. You're a great talent, and we wish you all the best. And you're playing tonight, just remind the people, Dunlow Bar tonight in Derry.
Yeah.
Ergal Inn.
Saturday.
On Saturday night. Thanks for coming in.
Cheers.
Bought a ticket to Boston. Didn't think it was too far away. Never had me nowhere to stay. And I spent my first night rough in Boston. And the next day I thought if I might hang around, I might meet somebody from Belfast town. And I hung around corners, stood on the line, and I couldn't get work here in Boston. So I took to the drink and I was sick as a dog, chewing up pretzels and sucking hot dogs, and I bumped into the wall, fell to the ground, and I ended up kissing the prison guard. And my last dollar spent on a sweet telegram, just to let you know how I am. Uncle Sam's the man they all say, so I'm off to discover America. And I tried and I got me a job at the sink, washing dishes and not too much rent. And there I was, half dead on my feet, and not a sight of a woman to warm me. And I tried, sure you know what it's like. Made a few dollars from working at night, bought a ticket out west and bound, still to discover America. And passing through Oklahoma one day, I fell in love with an Indian girl. The Cherokee was the tribe she was from, and we took some peyote buttons for fun. And I thought I was sent for, and long did it last. Colors and devils and more gods than one, and I never thought that I'd ever come down. And the back of me neck is still tingling, and the things that I saw, sure you wouldn't believe. The flowers would dance with the grass and the trees, would talk to the sky, down with the wind. And I got my mind blowing in Tulsa town. There's not a state where I haven't been, all the way around and then back again. My head's so sick 'cause I'll travel in, and I got to get out of the state that I'm in. Now that I'm older, wiser than none, and I'm going back to where I belong. Boston to Belfast City I'm bound, and to plant me feet firmly on holy ground. I'm gonna wrap you up and put you in my pocket. Wrap you up and put you in my pocket. Wrap you up and put you in my pocket. Wrap you up and put you in my pocket.
That's Henry McCullough. That's Belfast to Boston. That's from his album Unfinished Business. Hello to Ray and Patsy and Erin who ring in. Ray is Henry's sister. Thank you, Henry, for coming in. Thank you, Susan Deanan. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Goodbye.
92 to 95 FM.